Hi, my name is Janet Evans and I'm a glass artist. My company's name is Fire and Flame Glassworks, and I thought I'd show you a little video about some of the process that I go through to create the wearable art that I have for sale. So I'm a torch worker, which means that I melt glass using a propane-fueled torch. Most of the work that people do on a torch, or a lot of the work, is making beads, and you do that using a steel mandrel coated with liquid clay. It's called bead release. Otherwise, the hot glass would stick to the steel and you'd never be able to get it off. The glass that I use is, I get it in rods. A lot of it is made in Italy, and it comes in just like a bazillion different colors. Here I'm making a little heart. The glass that I used in this heart is called dichroic glass. It adds a lot of extra sparkle. This is how I make my little guys. They're sort of my signature product. They're a sculptural item, so they're not usually not a traditional bead like a round bead normally you would find. I use the mandrel just as a way to put a hole in them so that I can put them into other configurations. The thing about doing sculptural glass is that it has a lot to do with heat control, so you have to melt the glass, let it cool so it's just the right, has the right tension so that you can pull it into the shapes that you want. Another interesting thing that you can see here is that even though the glass is coral colored, as it gets hot it turns a different color. But after I'm finished and it goes into the annealing kiln to be brought down gradually to room temperature, it'll go back to that coral color. So I've made these into jewelry type things like earrings and necklaces, and I've also done a larger art project with them. I've got a lot of other plans for these guys. I think they're really cute. So I have to give it one last toasty heat in the flame to make sure it's all the same temperature before it goes into the kiln. And there he is. This is how I make a pair of earrings. You can see I'm using a graphite mold here. One of the things about earrings is that you want to have two that are relatively the same size, so using a mold is a good way to do that. The glass that I'm using here has a high silver content in it, and so when I treat it with a special flame, it brings the silver to the surface, and that's why it gets that metallic look. Now I'm just doing some scroll work over top of there with a clear glass stringer, and just a good shot of my work surface here. And then I will treat it again in the flame to make sure that it's got as much sparkle as I can get. The last thing I want to show you is my process for making the flowers that I use in my little mirrored gardens. You can see I'm not using a mandrel here, I'm using a piece of wire. I don't need a hole in the flowers, so I don't need to use a mandrel. So just a question of heating the glass, getting just the right amount of heat into it, and adding more and more and more. You can see it's sort of misshapen now, but the cool thing about glass is that it wants to be round. So when I heat it up, all those long things turn into more ball shapes, and then I get them hot and squish them flat. And there it is, a little flower. So thanks for watching my video. It's just a little look at the process that I go through to make some of the wearable art that I have for sale. If you would like to see some of my other work, check out my Instagram, fnf.glassworks, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.